About 2 weeks ago, I got some really happy news. And honestly, even though it's just been a couple of weeks since then, I feel like I've lived through eons. A million things have already happened, a million to-dos been ticked off, but I feel like my to-do list is still never ending. I am so excited. I've been dreaming about this for a long time, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't terrifying. This whole move came around so fast, and time has flown by just as fast since I got the happy news. It's been ups and downs, and between working, organizing, getting all the paperwork done, and eventually managing after a complete emotional paralysation to actually begin packing, I think I've been feeling every single emotion possible. And the outlet has been like crying approximately 4 hours a day for the past week. The messy, chaotic, homesick, because moving countries, starting over, and starting something as big as a PhD is definitely a mix of all of those. So grab a cup of something warm and let's dive into the start of this new chapter together.
I've been spending the past year cherishing each moment in Norway with my family and friends. I know from the last time abroad how it felt to live so far away from my family and friends, so this time, immediately after I found out the moving date, I arranged outings and quality times with my family and friends, knowing just how much I'll appreciate those memories after the move.
He wants to come. Linse loose. It's been a long week. I've been planning to start packing for like a week and a half. I needed an accountability partner to do it.
Here I am.
Woo!
Woohoo!
Okay. So, getting started with the clothes that I'm not going to use for the trip and also during the move and for the next days that I'm still here.
That's everything. Pretty much.
Okay. Is that the stop line?
That's the stop line.
Hoover on the way. Ooh, one panicky panicky dog. Panicky dog.
That's not gonna work as well as we think.
Yes, it is.
It actually might though.
Come on. No, it's not.
I told you.
There's 100% more air in here.
Yes, there is.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Why do they put a large thingy inside a medium thingy?
That's just stupid.
Means you can't actually really fill them up.
No. Okay, that's cool though. I love when that happens. It's so cool. Oh. It's gotta work now.
It has to work.
A little bit more. Man, this is sort of a workout. We got one bag down.
One bag down, a million to go.
You wanna watch my video now? The rest of the clothes and then make dinner.
Yeah.
Yes. We have delicious snacks.
My suitcase just birthed another suitcase.
Oh my god!
Losers.
Bør egentlig sitte han akkurat der klærne er nede.
I refuse to believe that they're gonna tax my fucking clothes.
If they do that,
They're twats. Toot toot. Toot toot.
oh ja, ferdig.
Nailed it. Okay, all clothes that I'm currently not using and that are not in the laundry and that is gonna be like packed down is now packed down into 2 suitcases and one vacuum box thingy. So now I have outdoor clothes left and all the laundry.
I just love you. Love you. Mwah. Mwah.
3 days. till I leave. And I thought that I was getting closer to finishing my to-do list, but I feel like it's only getting longer. I have so many things I need to do. Luckily, they're like not all huge things. Some of them are literally just making a phone call that will take me 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or filling out a form, or, you know, these smaller things that's got to do with customs or packing or fixing, you know, the last minute things that needs to be fixed. So that's what I'm gonna do today and tomorrow and Wednesday. And then I leave on Thursday, which is insane. I'm so glad I have a tiny little emotional support, because this to-do list is insane, and it's been insane all the way. The to-do list just never ends. Every time I feel like I've, you know, ticked off something, done something, finished something, that leads to something else being added. First thing to do, typing out that email.
Most of the final paperwork is revenue and customs related. I'm bringing almost all my stuff, including my car, over, so all of it needs to be listed and declared for export from Norway and import to the UK. Not that either country makes it any easy though. I spent approximately 9 days deep researching, making about 4 phone calls and visiting the custom office in Bergen to find out what I needed to get sorted before I left. And still, I wasn't completely sure, as my situation apparently was a bit out of the ordinary.
One to do ticked off.
All of these boxes need going through, resorting and repacking, and I'm literally leaving the day after tomorrow. I'd much rather spend the 2 last days and evenings doing fun things with my family, but, you know, 2 weeks long continuous panic attacks later, here we are. At least the sunset was nice. At this point, the out-of-this-world excitement I felt about 2 weeks ago has now taken a U-turn into overwhelming panic, chaos, fear and grief. Firstly, the overwhelm of the to-do list with a very short deadline. Then the financial panic, which comes naturally when you're going from a permanent, well-paid job to a full-time student loan. Eventually, the fear of going through this all alone and the possibility of total isolation and loneliness. And finally, the grief of leaving my family and friends behind, not being able to see them every day, hug them goodnight every night, having dinner together every evening, being miles and miles away. Did you know that Bergen Airport apparently has the only customs export declaration office in Norway besides the one on the Swedish border? Well, I didn't, and I only found out 3 days before departure that I needed not only to declare my car into the UK, but also out of Norway.
Monday is election day here in Norway, and I am leaving tomorrow, which is Thursday, so I need to go and pre-vote.
After making up my mind about the voting, I went straight back home to finish packing the last things and do a few rounds of luggage Tetris, leaving me with a car filled to the brim. And surprisingly enough, every single plan to bring item, except 1 box of Christmas decorations, about half the amount of books I wanted to bring, some pillows in yarn, my sewing box and the sewing machine. I did, however, manage to stuff 2 massive suitcases in 1 small one and a million small bits and bobs the size of everything between pencils to ocean drums in my relatively, but apparently not so small after all, Mercedes. 6 large moving boxes, a weekend bag, my backpack, and then I was off. I don't know why, but for some reason the goodbyes were infinitely harder this time compared to last time. I was absolutely heartbroken, and between 2 weeks before departure and until my pulse had somehow managed to slow down once I'd boarded the ferry to Denmark, I actually didn't manage to feel even a glimpse of excitement. I dreaded the move 100%.
I'm currently waiting in line to get into the ferry that will take me to Denmark. I have my ticket and my customs report form thingy ready. There's a queue, so hopefully this won't take too long. They basically opened 13 minutes ago for check-in, and I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a queue. Next in line. My heart's pounding now. I always get nervous about these things because I don't really know what to do. Now it's my turn. Hei, hva skal du ha? Jeg har billett og sånn også. Ja. Og så har jeg noen sånne tollgreier som jeg måtte få stemplet. Hvor gjør jeg det? Ja, ok.
Så kan du få fikse det, for du skal bare ha stemplet sånn.
Ja. Tusen takk. Ja. Da skal jeg bare kjøre frem, holdt jeg på å si. Super, tusen takk. Jeg skulle bare rett frem.
Jeg spor 8.
Ok, tusen takk. Ha det bra. So I now got my boarding pass, vouchers for breakfast and stuff. That went well. See you on the ferry.
I haven't been on the ferry to Denmark since I was about 10, so once I actually boarded and managed to slow down and smell the roses a little, I was really excited to start my trip off with a lovely 18-hour cruise. Brilliant views, a nice tour around the tax-free shops stocking up on Norwegian chocolate, Seigerman, marzipan and crisps. After 4 weeks in top speed, I truly needed that day and that night to slow down, take some deep breaths, let everything from the past weeks just sink in, get started on my first newsletter from the trip, and taking some time to myself away from the stressful planning and packing environment that has been my life for the past 3 weeks. It has also been the most perfect and energizing start to a very long road trip in a very short time. The meals on the cruise was absolutely amazing, an all-you-can-eat buffet for dinner and breakfast with the best table on board, I might add. I've always found it a bit awkward to eat out and other such things alone. This trip definitely challenged that and didn't even give me a practice run. It just threw me straight into solo traveling, and even though it felt a little bit boring and lonely to be driving alone for a fucking million hours, I actually kind of loved it.
I'm now on the ferry. We have landed in Denmark, and now I'm just waiting to get out of here and put my tires on Danish soil. We're getting somewhere! Here we come, Denmark! Outside! And we're on land! I'm in Denmark, officially! Woo! Now I just need to figure out where the I'm going. The weather is gloomy, but at least there's air here. There were literally no oxygen left in that car deck. So now that I could start my car and put the aircon on, I'm very, very happy. I'm gonna figure out where I'm going now. I have now been driving for 2 hours-ish on the highway in Denmark and have come to a little break. Needed some food and some drink. The weather is hideous. Absolutely horrendous.
Technically, I could have done the trip in less than 5 days, but as I've never been in North Germany, Belgium or France before, I decided to make the road trip into a vacation and visit the places I've never seen before. My first stop was Hamburg, and the moment I crossed the border into Germany, I was blessed with sunshine, and it stayed like that for the rest of the trip. Roaming around the city alone gave me the freedom to do everything in my own tempo, seeing exactly what I wanted to see. I'm usually a sucker for architecture and old stones and parks, so I made sure to seek out both. There's just something special about walking down streets alongside buildings you know carry such a massive amount of history.
Currently walking home from Hamburg to the Airbnb that I'm renting. It's been a long day. I'm so tired. I've got 2 phone calls coming in from family and friends. I don't think today is going to be the longest phone calls because I think I need to go to bed early. Luckily, I don't have to get up as early tomorrow as I did today. But still, can't be up too late because I need to move on to the next city. But it's been a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to the rest of the trip. I'm just gonna take a well-deserved break tonight, I think. Back in the car, and today we are driving to, or I am driving to a little place called Breukelen or something like that, outside of Utrecht in the Netherlands. Here we go. It's a warm day, it's a sunny day, it's a nice day. I've put on a summer dress and I'm ready to roll. I had a good night's sleep. Actually went to bed before 10, which is insane. I never go to bed before 10. And I had a bit of a sleep in. I think I got up at around 9, maybe. So it was very nice. I had nearly 12 hours of sleep. I'm very happy about that. Here we go. Stopping for a little bit for some lunch, a little break. I've been driving for about 2 hours, almost 3 hours soon. Going very, very well. The weather is absolutely impeccable. I should probably find my sunscreen. There are windmills here everywhere. Like everywhere you look, there are windmills. I'm gonna show you in a bit. But first, I'm gonna enjoy my lunch when it gets ready. I didn't think of until yesterday at some point that I should have brought cutlery or something to actually eat with. Luckily, I had these teaspoons, wooden teaspoons, in my bag from work. If I didn't remember that I did, I would have had a problem. Netherlands! Probably gives you butterflies. I hope you're happy. Wow! I have arrived in, I think it's pronounced Breukelen, and I am just more and more amazed at how absolutely stunning this place is. Such a cozy place, let me show you. Like that is most of the streets. It's cozy, nice, beautiful, intimate. People are on bikes everywhere. I'm just gonna enjoy it. I just found myself a park, and there is nothing I love more than a park, especially where you can hear the birds and animals. Oh, look at this is so nice. I'm trying to locate a river that was supposed to be very nice. So with a bridge and everything, so have a walk along that. Maybe sit down and journal a bit or something. I just need to find it first. I found it! Wow! I found myself a spot with a nice view, and then I'm gonna just sit here and I'm probably just gonna do some journaling. I'm just trying to find out what I can see around here and what I can do around here at 6:45 on a Saturday evening. Wow. Okay, that place looks amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic. Maybe I can stop by there tomorrow, and I'll stop by the store and I'll get something to make for dinner.
In Breukelen, I stayed in a really picturesque street. The next morning, I discovered that out of an entire street full of cars, the birds had gone for the only Mercedes. Apparently, they appreciate a bit of luxury when having a poo. So I was ever so slightly delayed due to a 45-minute stop to scrub my car clean enough to actually be able to see through the windscreen.
I'm in Belgium! I have arrived in Ghent, and this is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in. I'm gonna try and get myself into one of these boat trips. Thank you.
I'm not sure what I expected of Ghent, or if I even had any expectations at all. However, it is actually becoming one of my favorite cities of all time. For a history, architecture and period drama freak like me, it's simply perfect. Though I nearly died of a heat stroke here, or so it felt like, I was recommended to do one of the canal boat guided tours, and boy am I glad I did. On the water, there's at least a breeze that make it possible to breathe in the heat. But I'm not complaining, I'm definitely going back to Ghent, preferably for more than just a few hours. I missed the sign, but I'm in France, and this is where I'm staying for the night. It's about 6 p.m. on a Sunday, so practically everything is closed. I really don't mind though, because I'm absolutely knackered from the heat today. So this evening will be spent relaxing and catching up on some series.
I am currently out exploring the city of Lille, trying to get to a park that's supposed to be very, very nice. Got my morning croissant. I'm looking forward to a, well, rather hastily exploration of the city, as I've only paid for parking until 10, and I'm planning to leave at 10 anyways, as I'm taking the ferry to Dover, and I pushed that forward, so I'm taking an earlier ferry than I originally planned to. So yeah, here goes. A brisk walk in the morning, which is nice. It's always good to start the day with some movement. This view is nice. There's a river. It wasn't a road, it was a river. This an overview of the park, and apparently right here there's supposed to be a zoo. Don't know if it's open. I saw some really cool birds going down from the bridge. It's beautiful here. I love city parks, especially when they are well done like this, and if there can be like a really, really ancient building inside it as well that had some significance, then, you know, I'm happy. Pelicans. I think it's pelicans. Back on the streets of Lille, on my way back to my car so that I can finally drive off to my new country of home. I have now just arrived at the ferry port and is waiting in line to go through border control. I'm kind of shaking. I'm like, for some reason, I'm really nervous. I've got a car full of stuff. I still think I need a stamp or someone to finish filling out some revenue and custom papers for my car, as I'm in the UK on a student visa for longer than 6 months, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So I think that's why I'm nervous though. If I'd done this before, I wouldn't be as nervous, I think, because I've never done this before and I have no clue what to do and what's the right thing to do and where the right place to go is. So I'm basically just following the car in front of me and trying to do what's right. So I've come through border control. She asked me a few questions, why I'm going to the UK. I answered I'm going to study. She asked for how long. I said how long, and she asked me where I'm going to study, and standard questions basically. I also managed to ask her about the papers that I need stamped, and that is on the other side. So that is in Dover. I was originally booked for the 6:05 ferry tonight. I figured that I'm not going to spend the full day in Lille, so I'm going to change it to earlier. So yesterday I rescheduled to an earlier ferry, which was I think 2:20. I'm here very many hours early because I was afraid to get stuck in traffic and be late. Didn't want that. And the nice lady at the first check-in point told me that she would get me on the 12:50 ferry. So I am taking the ferry 1.5 hours earlier than I even rebooked it to earlier. So great. I've never ever driven in the UK before, so I'm very anxious to see how it goes driving on the left side of the road. But it'll be fine. I'll follow the car in front of me and hopefully there's a motorway or a highway all the way, almost anyway, so that I won't have to think too much. I am currently sitting on the ferry to Dover from Calais. You can just about see the coastline of Dover just there. Driving through France, I really had the feeling that this adventure is very soon going to be over. I love traveling and I love seeing new places. So being able to see new places around Germany, the Netherlands and France has been absolutely amazing. But I couldn't help feeling that the journey was somehow about to be over when I drove through France and towards the ferry here. But the closer we get to the white cliffs of Dover, the more the feeling of excitement grows, because this truly just is the beginning of the next huge adventure in my life. So I'm very glad that the excitement is really growing and I'm getting excited. I'm tired from traveling, so it will be nice to finally get settled. But now the journey begins. This is where it all starts.
Whilst some family members wanted me to have a live stream all the way, my granddad only asked for one thing: a picture of the white cliffs of Dover, and he was not disappointed.
Oh my god, I'm on British fucking soil. I drove off the ferry and I went straight through the customs. I asked because I told them I had some papers that I thought needed stamping, and they just said, no, you're okay, love, and sent me on. So I don't really know what to do about that. I am now at a parking lot because my letting agency just phoned me literally the moment I was sent straight through customs, and she was like, you have to sign the contract now within 5 minutes, and I was like, fuck. I'm here. I have driven on the left side of the road. I've never done that before. I literally had a beginning of a panic attack because I was not prepared that it would happen that quickly. It was like just a one-way road off the ferry, and then suddenly I was in a fucking roundabout and I was like, what? So here I am. I'd been driving for like 35 seconds on British soil and I needed to take a break. Wish me the best of luck because I'm probably gonna need it. Here we go. If I didn't have to concentrate so much, I would be able to actually look at the view, but I'm not because I need to fucking concentrate. Hills of Dover. I don't know what I'm doing. 70 miles an hour. How many fucking kilometers is that? Liksom vuxen. Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. We might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. I can see a bridge. In just a few seconds, I will officially be crossing into Wales. I am on the Prince of Wales Bridge. Look at this view. Wow. In any second now, the signs are gonna be in Welsh. Should I be counting down? Should I do a countdown? I feel like I should do a countdown. I'm nearly there. I got 45 minutes to go. Welcome to Wales. I have now officially driven into Barry, which is where I'm staying for the night. I'm chuffed, tired, and I'm looking forward to getting into a couch and relaxing and not driving again today. I have to drive again tomorrow though. And I'm also moving into my new apartment, hopefully, tomorrow. This is gonna be exciting. Tomorrow's gonna be a busy day actually, because I need to pick up the keys and I need to move in, and then I have a meeting, lots of stuff. But I'm in Barry. I will be arriving where I'm staying in about 6 minutes. I'm looking forward to it. We made it, guys. We made it. Can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? I'm not sure I can. So I've just got back out from the letting agency and I have picked up my keys. So now I'm driving up to the flat. I'm gonna get some help to get all of these boxes and all of my luggage into the room.
I actually had a massive struggle finding accommodation in the UK on such a short notice. After all, I only had 4 weeks from I got my acceptance letter until I had to move. And it was also cutting it quite close to the start of the semester. And basically all the flats that I seen earlier had gone. Another obstacle was the fact that no letting agency would let me book a viewing without a British phone number. And getting one of those without a British address and bank account is an absolute nightmare. Luckily, I worked it out in the end. I managed to get 4 online viewings, 2 of which suddenly had a much higher price on the viewing than the listing, but eventually I settled the deal on the ferry from Norway to Denmark, signed the contract 185 seconds after I arrived on British soil, and here we are. All that's left now is to unpack all of my stuff and get settled in properly. It's the first morning in the house. I have had my first night here. To be honest, I had a bit of a breakdown yesterday. I was just so overwhelmed, and there's so much to do in this room to get everything sorted and packed out and organised properly. So I'm gonna do a good job with that today, hopefully. So this is how the room currently looks. I got that shelf from IKEA yesterday, as well as 3 of these,
because they're great for storage. Now I just need to sort out all my clothes in a very, very tiny wardrobe, and those 2 boxes. That box is done, and the box is behind there. I need to still figure out and sort out all of this. It's a bit of a mess, but hopefully I'll be able to get most of it done today. I don't want to leave it like this for very many more days. I managed to get the heating to work. It was absolutely freezing tonight and yesterday evening and this morning, but we put on the heating and hopefully it's going to be a little bit warmer now. I got my top mattress. God, did I miss this tonight.
Settling in and getting everything in order is going to take time, but I'm taking things slow, one day at a time, giving myself the time I need and the time it takes to adapt to a new house, a new culture, a new country, a new everyday life. Last time I moved abroad for 4 months and experienced enough personal growth for a lifetime. This time it's for 4 years, and I can only imagine the lifetimes of growth waiting to unfold. Thanks for walking beside me. This is not the end of the story, it's only the first episode. More to come, with love from Wales.